Hey guys, welcome back to the Project B-Ball podcast. This is episode 9. My name is Akash Jain.
My name is Manungi.
And I'm Gokul 9.
For this episode, we're going to do our top 10 players of last season. I'm going to be clear about this. We each of us ranked our top 10 players using stats in our personal eye test, and we're doing it based on how the players played of last season. So we're not going to take in part of like players' overall careers in our rankings. So my 10th best player of the season was Jimmy Butler. Gokul and Akash, who was your guys' top 10 player? 10th best player in the league.
My 10th best player ended up being Paul George for me. What about you, Gokul?
Mine's Jimmy Butler. As Renee said, this is for this season. So obviously I think Paul George and Russell Westbrook are better all-time players, but for this season I'd say Jimmy Butler is much better.
Yeah, the reason why Paul George did not make my top 10 list, I'm going to say that right now, is because he was injured way too much this season. And then also Jimmy Butler, usually he's not like a top 10 player in the league, but this season he brought that Miami Heat team together and they're playing well. He has, his stats are decent. It's like 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, a half a block. He has but his win shares are pretty high at 8.5, which is a good thing for him. His PER is a little lower because he's not doing as much on the offensive end. But but the impact he had on the court, we can easily tell. This Miami Heat team last year did not make the playoffs. So to this year, it's a similar style of team is in the playoffs and is also in like title contention or making the finals. Akash, can you tell me why you put Paul George in your top 10?
I definitely see your point in that Paul George was injured a lot over the season, but the impact that he had on the Clippers when he returned was like completely instrumental to them winning. Like as soon as he came back, it was just kind of a different team. And this season he averaged around 29 points a game, 21 points a game, and shot 40% from 3. And that just goes to show you his impact on the team. And I could definitely slide Jimmy Butler to the 10th position on my list. But what I saw from Paul George, like through my eye test, was that when he was on the Clippers, when he was playing with Kawhi and with all their pieces working, the team was completely like it was a borderline almost better than the Lakers with everyone else and with Paul George in the lineup.
Okay, it makes sense. I'm just gonna say, I in my opinion, I like to look at the whole body of work the player did over the season. And Paul George, who probably played only half the season, is not what he did in that half the season. I won't count as much as what Jimmy Butler did in his full season, which is taking the Heat to the 4th seed. So that's why I don't think.
I should have Jimmy Butler higher up on my list for that same thing, bringing the Heat to the 4th seed.
Okay, for sure. We're going to our 9th player now. Gokul, who is your 9th best player in Akash?
I put Nikola Jokic. He averaged 20.2 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, pretty solid stats. So he was my top 9.
Akash, who's your 9th best player?
I put Jokic as well for the same reasons as Gokul.
I put Westbrook in 9th. I feel.
Yeah. You to explain this one because I found this pretty peculiar when I saw it.
In my opinion, like the reason. Okay, so usually Westbrook would not be like this high, but it's a rare occurrence like where KD and Steph were injured, so they're not being my top 10, right? And then we had disappointing seasons from Paul George and Embiid. Embiid's not my top 10. And Paul George, obviously. So there's gonna be a couple of interesting players that are gonna enter into my top 10 because of those 4 players not being in there. Westbrook this year had like resurgence year. He's playing pretty well. He's shooting less threes. The Rockets are winning more ever since like the trade deadline, but even before the month of January, he started playing well. And he's averaging 28 points a game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Not much blocks. He has a 21.5 PER and a 4.3 win shares. Those 2 stats are kind of on the low side. It's not high enough, but that's like the advanced stats. Advanced stats can't tell the whole picture of everything. This is the one reason why advanced stats are not always the ending in an argument. They can help your argument. For me, it's my eye test of what Westbrook did here. I like Westbrook a lot as a player, and then his impact I can see is like the Rockets have a different style of basketball. They're playing better. He's energizing the team, and I just like the style. Your Jokic pick is definitely good. I just have Jokic higher in my list because I feel Jokic's impact is higher than like the 8th best player in the league, in my opinion. Do you have anything to say on my Westbrook pick for 9, guys?
Yeah. Now that you've thrown out your points there, I can definitely see where you're coming from. Yeah, he fit in the Rockets system really well this season. So yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from on that pick. Let's move on to number 8. Who do you guys put number 8?
I have Jokic number 8. Who do you have, Goko and Akarsh?
So mine's a little bit controversial. I put Joel Embiid. It hasn't been the best season for the Sixers, but he's still averaging some solid stats, so that's how I put him.
I actually put Jimmy Butler number 8, mainly for the same reasons that you put him number 10. But I think it's just amazing how he took a team that people thought would like scrape the 8th seed of the playoffs to the 4th seed, and how well he fit in with this system, and how he's influencing all the Miami Heat's young players like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo. And that system just really clicked this season, and they played really good. And so that's why I put Jimmy Butler number 8, because he was the best player in that system.
Okay, I have Nikola Jokic as my 8th player in my list, and it's for the reason that you couldn't put him 9th, but I think Jokic, he from my eye test has a higher value to like the Nuggets. Like if you remove Jokic from the Nuggets, that team is not going to go anywhere. Then like if you remove like other players like Westbrook from the Rockets, right, the Rockets will still be making the playoffs. Removing Jokic, you can see where I'm going there with Jokic also.
But that's the same reason I put Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
If Butler wasn't on that team, would you think that the Miami Heat would definitely have a chance of making the playoffs? But do you think they would be as good as they are now?
They're not gonna be as good as they are now, but I feel Jimmy Butler, and then but I don't feel like the value Westbrook or Jokic has is the equal amount to Jimmy Butler. Even though it's the Eastern Conference, so there's stuff that's gonna be inflated a little bit with Jimmy Butler. That's why he's 10th, not 8th. Jokic's value is big. He's in the Western Conference. He's the 3rd or 2nd seed for the last 2 years. He's been playing well. He was disappointing a little bit in the season. When Jokic has been disappointing, the Nuggets are not winning. But when he's been great, the Nuggets have been one of the best teams in the league. So there's a value hack you can see, and from that also plays in the fact in my eye test, and it also has advanced stats. He has a PER of 25 and a win shares of 9.2. 9.2 is a very high win share rate, because that's a lot for that's like top 5 in the league almost, I think. And then you can tell from my eye test he has the impact, and then also from the advanced stats also back up my eye test that he has an impact. And it's like I feel his impact is greater than what Westbrook and Butler are doing. That's how my list was formed. Do you agree with that, Karsh and Gokul?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay, we're going to our 7th best player in the league. I'm gonna start off. My 7th best player in the league is Damian Lillard. Who's your guys's?
Mine's Anthony Davis. Him and LeBron have been like pretty good duo. Like obviously first seed, solid stats again. You could argue to putting him 6th too, but I'll explain why I did. But I put it number 7. Or number 7.
Karsh, who's your 7th best player in the league?
I put Davis as well. Just the way that him and LeBron meshed together, it was a thing of beauty. And they were playing so good in that final stretch of the season before. Unfortunately, it was canceled, but it was canceled for the correct cause. And it's good that the NBA is trying to keep their players safe. But yeah, back to the point, Anthony Davis played amazing with LeBron throughout the season, especially through that stretch at the end.
Okay, I have Lillard 7th, which are Anthony Davis picks. I feel like you guys are underrating him a little bit. I have him way higher on my list. You guys will hear it when Davis comes up in my list. Lillard has been 7th. Usually, he should be higher in my opinion, but since the Blazers are not in the playoffs at all, right? Like that's why he got docked a lot. Like he's the highest.
If Lillard made the playoffs, he's probably the best point guard in the league. Period. Like for now. For
Yeah.
now, he's the best point guard in the league. So if he made the playoffs, he would have jumped to like number 3 or number 4 on my list.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, that's the only thing because his advanced stats are crazy too. He has a PER 26.2 and a win share rate of 9.6, which is higher than Jokic and LeBron. The win share rate. Like,
And he passed the eye test too, just straight up pulling for 40 footers and hitting them like pretty frequently.
his eye test is just like if he's in the playoff race, like even 5th seed, like he'll be the 4th best player or even the 3rd best player in the league.
Definitely.
From
Like,
that,
that's why he's always pretty low on our list. But yeah, that's amazing.
I don't really. What do you guys think is the reason the Blazers underperformed this year?
I explained this in the last episode. It's just the lack of chemistry among the team because the team changes because early on they were injured, right? So then there would be new players added, and like we all commended Damian Lillard's leadership like before season starts to getting his team chemistry up high, right? But instead, since of the injuries, now he wasn't able to mid-season get this chemistry up, and then there's like he's been injured, CJ's been injured, Nurkic is out for like the whole time. Then the most healthy player was Melo on that team, right? So like there's a lot of factors. Like the injuries are pretty much the biggest reason why they're the 9th seed right now.
I think the biggest factor was definitely that Nurkic was out for for the entire season. Hassan Whiteside was decent for them, but the impact Nurkic brings, as being the glue of that team and being a big body that they can throw into the paint was pretty much missed. I mean, Hassan Whiteside filled that void to a degree, but the way that Nurkic meshes with their team was definitely lacking in the season. So I think Nurkic was the biggest factor in them not making the playoffs.
Okay, we're going to our 6th player, I believe, right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my 6th best player of the league from what we saw last season is Luka Doncic. Who's your guys' 6th best player in the league?
I put Damian Lillard as my 6th best player. It's definitely for the same reasons that you said. His advanced stats are extremely unprecedented. He passes the eye test for sure. The only thing he's lacking is the playoffs. That he didn't make the playoffs. So yeah, that's why I put Damian Lillard at number 6.
Goku, who's your number 6?
I also put Damian Lillard, same reasons, and as we said before, he would be much higher in the list if the Blazers were a more successful team.
Yeah, I have Luka 6th. It's more my eye test for Luka is like I know you guys have him much higher on your list. It's what I saw from him this year is okay, his PER is incredible. It's 27.7. His win shares are a little low. It's 8.1, and he's averaging 29, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, and not many blocks. But he has a problem with his game. It's clutch shooting and his defense. He gets exploited a lot on defense. It's not like the other players before him, like Jokic and Westbrook, they get exploited a little bit. But this man, he's the worst defender in my list, and that's why I docked him down a little bit. And then his clutch shooting, sometimes these Mavericks lose close games because he's not that great of a 4th quarter player, and that's why I docked him down because you need to have those aspects to be a great player. I would say this, if he was more of a clutcher player, then he would be higher on my list. The defense, I know it's more like how you think of it. Cause I have Lillard. Lillard's not that great of a defender either, but Luka's but he did something that the reason why he's ahead of Lillard in my list, right, is because his team is in the playoffs, Lillard's team is not in the playoffs. And those two are about doing the same thing on offense, just Lillard has more win shares, and then Luka has a higher PERs, which is player efficiency rating. That's my opinion for Luka being 6th. Do you guys agree with me putting Luka at 6th? Because I know you guys have Luka pretty high on your list.
Do you really think that it's okay to judge Luka, Luka's clutch ability, even though it's only his 2nd season playing in the league, and he's dang near averaging a triple-double at this point? He's 29 points a game, 9 rebounds per game, and 9 assists per game, and it's only his 2nd season. That's what I just saw. With the eye test, I saw his play style. He's just he's a born leader. the way that he leads the Mavericks and the way that his scoring works, he's definitely gonna he's one of the best scorers that I've ever seen, especially in his second year. When you think about best scorers, you think about Harden, Durant, and now Luka. So I'm saying in the second season, Luka's doing this good, almost 30 points a game. I mean, it's insane in my opinion. So that's why I have him much higher on my list.
Yeah, but I don't feel it's fair to rate because he's new, he's younger, that he should get a pass. When you're judging him the best amount of the league, you need to judge what they're good at. Luka's potential is crazy. He could be the best player to ever play the game. We never know, but Luka, I need to judge him from what he did last season. I was just giving my eye test and what I seen from him. He's not that great of a clutch player. He's not good on defense, and that has to dock him for. Even though he's doing amazing things at 21 years old or how old he is, he's averaging 30 points, 9 and 9, right? But there's factors that need to dock him down because everyone on this list is clutch in their own way.
He's not even a pass. He doesn't get a pass for sure.
Yeah, we can see where he's coming from. It's pretty fair that I see what you mean by giving out pass, but you can't disregard the fact that
he's averaging 30 points, assists, and 9 rebounds.
He gets second season, and it's pretty insane.
Saying that he's not that clutch or he's not that good on defense. I mean,
defense makes sense, but
a top 5 player in the league.
No, but the players that I have above him, the next 5, I feel they did better this season than he did, and it's just for the reasons Luka is only he hasn't had there's factors he's close to a Harden or Kawhi with production they did, but the factors that docked him underneath Harden and Kawhi is the clutchness and his defense. You need to when you're putting players above each other, you need to have the factors why you put them lower, right? So in my opinion, those factors matter more to me because Harden and Kawhi have they're better defenders than Luka, and they're obviously more clutch players than Luka, and that was proven this season with how good they were playing in the fourth quarter, while Luka in the fourth quarter was not playing that much. I understand he was young, but I had to be fair on how much I'm playing this, because if right now Luka with those stats and he was 28 years old, and if he was a good defender and a good clutch player, he'd be the second best player in the league. But he doesn't, so he's not the second best player in the league. Those are the reasons why he has to get docked. I feel that's the only fair way to put it. Okay, we're going to our 5th player. My fifth best player from the league from the previous season is James Harden. Who do you have Goku in the coach?
I have James Harden as well.
Kawhi Leonard. According to our next one, I have James Harden.
Okay. Explain.
Yeah, why do you have Kawhi 5th?
Kawhi?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Where did you guys put Kawhi?
I put him 4th.
Higher on my list than 5. I mean, I don't really give anything away yet, but when we get there, I'll say.
So, Kawhi and Harden, stats-wise, you can see Harden's just a much better player, and that way. But and Kawhi's, I guess, a better leader, you can say. But the main reason I put Harden one spot ahead of Kawhi was because the points, even with Westbrook, it was just insane. You have another quote-unquote ball hog on the team, and then you're still able to average 35 points. That's why I just decided to put Kawhi 4th or 6th, or no, 5th. But yeah, that's why I put Harden over him.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I put Harden. I put Kawhi over Harden, but I put Harden number 5 mainly because obviously he's the 5th best player in the league. Because of he's been averaging so many good points, so his stats are insane. So I had to put him in the top 5 for sure. But what I've seen from him, obviously he's averaging the 35 points a game and everything, but I just think Kawhi slightly edges him out. In the sense that when Kawhi is on the floor, he definitely has a bigger impact on the game. And that's probably because Kawhi was playing without Paul George for nearly half the season. And so when Kawhi got off the floor, the Clippers were definitely not as good as the Rockets when Harden was off the floor. So that's why I gave the edge to Kawhi slightly. What about you, Rudy?
I have Harden 5th. I'm just gonna say this. The players I had to choose between the hardest part was me putting Kawhi, Harden, and Luka like who should be better than each. I think Harden is better than Luka, but was not as good as Kawhi last season for reasons like this. When I was doing the research for the video, this episode, right? I was finding out like the advanced stats just love Harden. Like I was looking at it, it's like everything. He has highest win shares in the league. He has the second highest PER in the league. He has a decent offensive rating, defensive rating that's kind of garbage, but we know why. Like he spends all his energy on the offensive end. But like when you think about this, Harden's offense and then his defense, I put like you have to think of it like this. You have to combine those and combine what I think of Kawhi's offense and defense. Kawhi's a better defender. His offense is not as good as Harden, but it's comparable. But because of the reason why Kawhi is a more of a overall better player in the offensive defensive aspect, that's why I feel Kawhi is a little better than Harden. And then but Harden's offensive advanced stats is just like the advanced stats just love the dude. I don't know how, but like he, according to advanced stats, he's the best offensive player in the league currently. So
no, he's definitely the best offensive player in the league, no doubt. Because I mean, he was averaging 35 points a game and still 10 assists and everything. But what I'm saying is, Kawhi has a better impact on his team when he is on the floor. He's a better two-way player than Harden, and therefore I gave Kawhi the edge over.
Yeah, my argument's a little similar. I think because like Kawhi's defense is the reason why he's better than Harden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an underlying fact. Like that's why. Because we're looking at it from last season, Harden's defense was okay, right? But like Kawhi was offensive rating for Kawhi was 115.7. Harden's was 113.8. I'm not gonna count that like Kawhi being a better offensive player because the other offensive advanced stats show me that Harden was a better player. But the defense was such a big difference of Kawhi being 103.6 and Harden being 109. It's like, and then we know that from our eye test, Kawhi is a better defensive player. He has a higher impact, obviously. So like those type of things we can see from what Kawhi does from Harden. So that's why Harden's fifth. We're gonna go with our fourth best player in the league. Mine was Kawhi. Gogo, who's your fourth best player in the Karsh?
I put Luka as my fourth best player.
Gogo, how about you?
I put Harden, and then some of the reasons I mentioned before. I put Luka as my third best, so I'll explain that later.
Wait, can you explain why Harden's better than Kawhi in your opinion from last season? What you saw last season?
I already explained it, right? Like
you already explained it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You put Kawhi number 5, then Harden.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what? Okay, Luka's your fourth, the Karsh. So can you explain why Luka? I put Luka at 6 and you put him 4th, and Gogo hasn't even said what Luka was yet. So like,
I put him third.
Okay. Take the advanced stats as you will, but when I was watching Luka play, I mean, I was just like blown away by like someone this young playing this well and leading his team to the playoffs like so well. Like I can't put into words like what I saw when I see him play. He's explosive on the offensive end, and he knows how to pass. He knows how to rebound. He's tall, he's lengthy, and he's fast. He can do everything on the offensive end. Granted, like you said, he does have to fix his defense a little bit, but that'll come with time. I mean, it's his second season. But anyway, yeah. So the reason I put him 4th was just that I was just completely wowed when I saw him. And this is his second year too. So I mean, that's it pretty much.
okay, I don't agree with you that much because like you keep saying like the second year type thing. I don't think that gives him a pass for like having whack defense.
I'm not giving him a pass at all. I'm just saying the things that he did on offense outweighed the things that he lacked in defense.
So you think he's a better offensive player than James Harden?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But he's okay. That's not what I'm saying. But the way that he led his team, like who else does he have on his team?
Porzingis.
Yes, Porzingis, but Porzingis played mediocre this season.
True. I'll give you that.
Yeah, exactly. Harden has Westbrook. Harden has a whole bench. Harden has like many good players, and Luka led his team at like this young of an age to like what seed were they?
7. They're the 7th.
Really?
Yeah.
At one point they were like the 5th seed.
Yeah.
Like That's when Luka was at his peak, and then Luka got injured.
So, Akash, I have a quick question about your. Are you saying that Luka's offensive ability, no, like Luka's offensive impact was more than Harden's impact on their teams? Is that what you're trying to say?
You could, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't want to say that because Harden played really well too. But I mean, if you look, like the Rockets went 40 and 24, and the Mavericks went 40 and 27. So their records were close to each other too. And then you have Luka being okay. I don't want to sound repetitive, but I mean, he led the team to like 5th seed at one point in the season, being only in his second year. So yeah, that's why I gave him over Harden. But I mean, in my after hearing your opinions on this, I do think I could replace Luke, switch Luke and Harden. But for now, I'm gonna stay put and say Luka is my number 4.
Okay. Yeah, I understand your side of it. I feel like I don't think your eye test is higher on him than I am on him, but he's still a top 8 player in the league easily.
Let me say just one thing. If you look at the 7th, 6th, 5th, and 4th seed, there's only a 2-game difference between all 3 of those.
Yeah.
So, if the season went on, the Mavericks could have very easily been the 4th seed in the league.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So.
But I don't feel like that should be part of your argument if the season went on, but we're just basing it on what we saw. So you can't. Yeah. So I don't the Luka Harden thing. That's the biggest thing we're discussing about. It depends on your opinion, honestly. Who do you feel has a better impact on their team? Personally, I think Harden has more. Akash thinks Luka has more. But it's I also need to consider other factors. I actually kind of agree with Akash and Gogo saying Luka has higher impact on his team because without him, that team's not making the playoffs. Okay, straight up. Maybe the Rockets probably could make the playoffs with Westbrook in the floor spacers because we saw him do it with 0 floor spacers and he won MVP that year. So it is impact, but Lucas has 2 deficiencies in his game that weighs everything else for me. That's the thing.
Here we go. I could definitely switch those 2 on my list. Now that I hear your opinions on. Okay. But for now, you keep Luka where he is.
Alright, now we're going to our 3rd best player in the league. Mine is Anthony Davis. Goko and Akash, who's your 3rd best player in the league?
Anthony Davis. Okay.
Goko and Akash.
I have my 3rd best player this season.
Who?
Owen.
Who do you go? Akash.
I want to say, I didn't say Luka yet, so I want to say him now. I know, I understand where you come from, Renee, talking about his age. I guess that kind of did, make us a little biased. But, when you watch Luka play, you don't see it, if you don't know anything about basketball and you watch him, you're not going to know that this is only his 2nd year, so.
Yeah, he's one of those players that's just electric on the offensive.
Yeah, it's so I know where you're coming from with this age thing, but so if there was no bias involved in this, Luka would still be in top 5, but he wouldn't be top 3. But just because of that age, I put him as my 3rd best.
Yeah, I just don't I just don't agree with you putting the age as you're getting biased with the age and I understand that's fine. It's just I don't think that should be a way to show a player's worth. Luka has 2 big deficiencies while others in the game don't have that big of a deficiency.
Dude, you can't disregard that his defense isn't there yet, but you have to give him some credit too.
I mean, the defense comes with experience.
Yeah, when you walk in from college or in this case, you came from another league, but everything changes. So as time comes, it'll only get better.
That's another factor too. We came from Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another factor as well.
Yeah, but
maybe why he's so good in the league right now too, because he's been playing professionally since he was 16. So. Yeah.
But I still don't think you can put outside factors like that into play. You need to. This needs to be based on your ranking of how they played last season. Yeah, I know you guys are putting age and he played in Europe or wherever. That doesn't and how I was ranking.
Europe was actually an advantage for him because he played professional basketball since he was 16 years old. I'm saying that's an advantage to him.
Okay.
That's pretty unrelated, but I mean, yeah, go on. I was just saying that as like a side point.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty clear on like how I feel about Luka. I think throughout this episode, I really gave all my opinions on him. Now I'm gonna tell you why Anthony Davis is the third best player in the league. Because I know both Goko and Akarsh put him at 7th, and that's a disrespect. You guys underrated him way too much. I believe he was better than Kawhi, Harden, and Luka this whole season because he's been defensive player of the year and he has a PER of 28.2, which is his offense has been great. He's helping the Lakers offense a lot. From my eye test is when he's going, the Lakers are going, the Lakers playing well, and then he has a win share rate of 10.3, which is higher than LeBron, really. Like my eye test, because I've watched, I'm gonna say half the Lakers games. I watch all the nationally televised Lakers games, and I'm pretty sure I watch all of them. My eye test is when Davis is going, which is pretty much every game. He energizes the team. He has a huge impact on that team. The team plays better. That I put in my eye test. And then the advanced stats and the regular stats prove he's been great. He's averaging 2.4 blocks. He has a defensive rating of I don't have the defensive rating on him right now, but like his PER was 28.2, which is the offensive base stat. He has a win share of 10.3, which is amazing. He's pretty much, in my opinion, defensive player of the year, and he's been the best defender in the league, and his offense has been amazing this league, and he has a huge impact on his team. That's why I feel like he's the third best player in the league. But you guys lowered him down. Can you please explain me why Davis is not as good as Luka, Harden, or Kawhi?
Okay, Renee. So you're talking about bias, right? So, would you say that you sort of biased Anthony Davis, like just a tad bit because you're a Lakers fan? No.
No, I try to be fair. Like okay, yeah. Of course, I'm Lakers fan. Of course, I want my players to be the best, right? But like, I'm being fair. Like his impact, like because I watch the most Lakers games out of all the other teams, right? But I do follow the league and I look at everything. I see the impact of what he does to the team. I'm a Lakers fan. I can be their biggest critic. When Davis is not going, it makes LeBron not going, which makes the whole team like go in this weird offensive slump, and where they sometimes cannot win the games. That's why they lose the games like against the Nets or the Magic or the Grizzlies, like the couple of times. Those bad teams where they lost to. And like because Davis was not going and like stuff like that. But like when he's going, he has an impact to make the whole team better.
So you're saying he's kind of like the glue that holds the Lakers together?
Yeah. And then his offensive and defensive stats prove it. He's been defensive player of the year.
You watch more Lakers games than me, so you would be more insightful on this. But I see where you're coming from. Where without Anthony Davis, the Lakers would not be as good as they are now. But what I saw from my number 3 player, which was Kawhi, what I saw from him was without him, the Clippers would probably be like a 10th seed or a 9th seed, maybe scrape the playoffs. But with LeBron and the whole ensemble there, I think they would definitely be like still like a top 5 team without Davis. That's the only reason I would put Kawhi in place of Davis. But I definitely see where you're coming from in the fact that when Anthony Davis is gunning, he's getting his blocks, he's getting his points, he's getting his assists. Everyone else is better because of the momentum he creates for the team. I definitely see where you're coming in that aspect. And so, yeah, where you put him is actually a good place to put him now that I think about it. For now, I'm still putting Kawhi at my number 3.
Okay, we're going to go on to our number 2 players. I have LeBron James, my favorite player ever. And yeah, I don't have him number 1. I have number 2. I have to be fair on my rankings here. Of course, who do you have number 2? And Goko too.
I got a controversial one, number 2. I actually put Giannis number 2, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. He's like... That's kind of like, you know, I didn't even put LeBron number 1. That's the thing, and you put him number 1. I know, you're not like a LeBron critic and anything. I know you're like a pretty good fan of LeBron, but it's kind of surprising to me that you put him number 1. Gogo, who do you put number 2, by the way?
I put LeBron. Like obviously we know Giannis and LeBron are the top two, which is why they're always all-star captains. But like this season-wise, not career-wise, Giannis is just a much better player. So
Yeah, I wouldn't say much better. It's very close between those guys.
Or much better. I mean, for a man, okay, I'll talk about LeBron when we get there. But Giannis definitely. I mean, this could have gone either way for me. Like I was really debating whether I should put LeBron over Giannis for sure. I mean, there was some instances where I thought, well, it's obvious Giannis is better than LeBron. But then the things that I took into consideration for Giannis. Let's see. Let's look at his stats. I mean, he definitely has MVP stats for sure. He's averaging 29. He's averaging 30 points per game, 14 rebounds, and near 6 assists. But what set LeBron apart from Giannis for me was that his performance was like unrivaled. At 35 years old, he still has the ability to turn a team around completely. At 35, at 20, when he was in his 20s, I remember he had like 25 straight points against was it the Pistons or something? Renee might know.
Yes,
but he still has that ability. When I look at him today, he still has the ability to just straight up carry a team to the final. That's why I put LeBron over Giannis this season.
Yeah, but like that's like you can't put that in your consideration in my opinion because like talk about previous events. Yeah, LeBron back 07 he carried that Cavs team to the finals, beating the Pistons and stuff like that. Then you're saying like he has the ability to carry any team to the finals. Yeah, he has that ability. We need to consider what he did in the season, right?
yeah, not career.
So, like
this season, what I saw from him, I was seeing that ability where late in games he was just taking over and he was going on a tear and he was just carrying the Lakers against other teams. Obviously with the help of Anthony Davis, as you said. But I just again I'm basing many of my things off the eye test. And you guys are basing yourself off stats and advanced stats. I'm definitely taking those into consideration as well. Because if you look at the stats, then obviously, I mean, it becomes apparent that Giannis is better than LeBron. But when I look at LeBron play in game, he's just a dominating force that can't be like rivaled with. Maybe Kawhi could stop him on some days, but what I see from him is he's like a bulldozer. No one can stop him. Like if he wants to win a game, he will win. That's what I see through the eye test. That's what I saw this season.
okay, so
Yeah.
so with your LeBron and Giannis thing, it's my thing with you're saying LeBron's dominating, right? I feel Giannis is dominating more than LeBron. Like the Milwaukee Bucks have the highest differential. Like they're blowing out teams, and Giannis is doing it in 30 minutes of playtime. Like he drops 30 points in 30 minutes of playtime, and he has a PER of 31.6. I know, like yeah, you base your thing more on the eye test, but like if you think in my eye test too, Giannis was better than LeBron, and the advanced stats obviously say Giannis is better than LeBron, right? It's a pretty close because of the ability that LeBron has to take over games, and he has the will to win any game he wants, right? But like what Giannis did overall last season, right, is what he was the most dominating force since Shaquille O'Neal. Right? Like no one was stopping him. You're saying, okay, no one can stop LeBron, but like there's Kawhi who won a Finals MVP. There's Andre Iguodala for winning Finals MVP for making LeBron play a little worse than usual, but he still played amazing.
Okay. Iguodala did not stop LeBron. He may have slowed him down. However, LeBron still averaged a triple-double in that finals series. But in no means did Iguodala stop LeBron. LeBron was still playing phenomenally. In fact, LeBron was in consideration for winning Finals MVP that year, even though he lost the finals.
Yeah, I wish LeBron would have won the Finals MVP that year, but the players, okay, but there's no one in the league who can guard Giannis like properly except Kawhi. But they barely played this season. We barely saw Giannis be like not as great, right? But when Giannis is what Giannis does is destroy teams in the first 3 quarters, and he doesn't need to play the fourth quarter. LeBron, they kind of play down to their competition. As I watch these games, like until like the late third quarter, they don't push the gas and don't go, because I don't know if they're trying as much in the regular season as the Bucks seem like they're trying, and like Giannis is definitely out there too.
No, LeBron to try in the regular season.
Huh?
Have you to try and that's what I'm saying. But when he needs to try, he goes for it. And like you said, Giannis gets most of his minutes in the first 3 quarters. LeBron's minutes are more distributed than that because they know that if they're enough people at the end of the game, they know LeBron can get it done. That's why they give LeBron minutes throughout the game rather than just give him the first 30 minutes of the game, get ahead completely, and then when you take him out of the game, you know the team isn't as good because LeBron makes every player around him better. That's why the team performs so good when he's on the floor, and that's why there's such a big drop when he leaves.
Yeah, that's an argument for LeBron being better than Giannis. You definitely said that, but I need to go off a fair analysis here, right? Like, I need to talk about everything that happened last season. What we saw last season was Giannis become a better player overall. Like the year before, we didn't think he could get much better except if he improves his 3-point. He improved his 3-point shooting. He's became a dominating force. Like no one can stop the dude. Well, LeBron, no one can stop LeBron, but like people can slow him down a little bit. I'll admit that like LeBron hasn't he's not always dominating every game, right? When LeBron tries, when he scores 30 or more points, the Lakers are undefeated. That's when he's trying. I need to be fair when he. We base this off what we saw in the regular season last year, right? And Giannis tried the whole way through, and he had at one point the highest PER of all time. Right now he's at 31.6, which is like third or fourth of all time, right? It's like you need to take it in the whole sense. I know I don't remember the last time LeBron tried in a regular season. Okay, like that I cannot tell you because like he doesn't try that much. When is it?
2010 when he carried the Cavs to the finals. That's the last time I'm pretty sure he tried in the regular season because that's probably when he realized that all that matters is getting to the playoffs. And it's not like his season was a slouch anyway. He won 49 games. He was the #1 seed in the Western Conference. Giannis, take it or leave, his team was amazing this season as well. They won 50 games. However, again, it becomes a discussion of, they were in the Eastern Conference. LeBron moved to the Western Conference, from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference, and still kept the #1 record without, trying too much in the regular season, as you were saying. You were saying he wasn't trying much in this regular season. And yet still he has the #1 record in the West.
I understand your point there about how LeBron's he's not trying as much, but you need to consider that factor in. He's not trying to his complete best ability. Him not trying is still the second best player in the league. And on most years, it would still be him being the best player in the league, but not winning that MVP award, not winning any of those. Look, when we go to the playoffs, the real best player in the league will be shown. Our list is based on what we saw in the regular season. What we saw in the regular season, when LeBron would turn up, they would win. But when he does it, they would lose most of the time. And they still had Anthony Davis. They had a security blanket. You can say that too. But what Giannis did, he tried every night and he did everything he could to make sure they win every single game. I'm not sure if LeBron did that every game. I know he would like to say that he tried on every game, but I know he's 35 years old. He's not trying on every single night. He's not trying on a game against the Knicks, right? He's like that. The Lakers themselves would just Kyle Kuzma could probably beat the Knicks. Okay, they're trash. That doesn't matter. But what Giannis brought it every night. He has the best defensive rating. He has one of the better offensive ratings too. But I think LeBron has a higher offensive rating than Giannis. But all that factors will go into he was dominating. The team was the best until he got injured and then they started losing a couple of games in a row, right? That all can play in a factor, but what Giannis did in a whole body of work. I'm looking from this the whole 60-ish games that happened, right? Well, LeBron tried his best in 20 of those games. That's 1/3 of the season, and 1/3 of the season we cannot put him over Giannis, who probably tried on 80% of those games.
Okay, but if he tried 1/3 of the season, his team only had one less win than the Bucks. It's not a matter of who tried the most in this season. That's what I'm saying. Through the eye test, I can tell you that LeBron dominated this season. Okay, anyway, but the episode is getting really long now, so I'm pretty sure we should end it there. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about the Nets getting
virus? Yeah.
Virus.
Yeah, the virus. Yeah, it's a sad situation. They played the Lakers to like so like I hope all the Lakers test negative on the virus. It's just a pretty bad situation, but it's a good thing that the NBA suspended the season and it will resume back later in the year. It's the greatest decision by the league. Guys, this episode went way too long. Sorry about that. We got into these debates. This was my most enjoyable episode so far for recording. This is our 9th episode. We had good arguments. I liked Gokul and Karsh's arguments a lot. They made me think about it, but like in the end, like I felt like I was analyzing it fair, and they in their minds are analyzing it fair. It's a great debate we had today. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.